Okay, guys, we are live. Hello,
Hi.
welcome to the first
Hello.
episode of our podcast, the Untacticos. I'm Jitto, Joby Ho on Twitter. I'm with guys. Introduce,
Hi,
share
I'm
your
Ganesh, and my Twitter handle is the same as my title here. I am Ganesha, and happy to talk to you about all things Arsenal.
I'm Raman. My Twitter handle is Damdam Shiramani. Yeah, so let's
we're all
begin.
yep, we're all Arsenal fans by the way, but we discuss anything and everything to do with football.
Yep.
So we're starting off with the hot topic that is have the Havertz injury, which came out of nowhere. So I'll just pull this news up. So what do you guys think right now? Like, what are our options? Does the Trossard extension help, or do we stick with Gyökeres, or do we sign someone new, or how is it? How do we go about it?
I think the couple of news that came alongside this, I think, and once Ornstein broke this, like there was like one which says that we might still be gambling with some kind of a loan or a bargain buy instead of going out big in the market. But then parallelly, there's news on Eze, not on Eze being being priced out for Arsenal, and then that means that our option Eze is out of options for Arsenal, but that brings in Rodrigo discussion, and that brings out even now that we are hearing about Julian Alvarez. So he's also there as one of the potential options. And then there is, of course, there are other fans meltdown around whether we sign Nicholas Jackson or Christopher Nkunku or Garnacho from United. So I think we can expect a meltdown there if that happens. And I think this is again linked to what happened with Trossard, where we have now signed an extension with Trossard. Not an extension in terms of we have increased his pay, but he's going to be there. I think he extended his stay till 2027. So all of this again, we have to see how we replace. We need a person on the left wing, and now that Havertz is injured, again we are in the same situation where we have one forward and Mikel Merino is the backup forward that we have. So should we go for a versatile forward? Should we go for a left winger and then use Merino as the other backup option? A lot of questions.
Right. I honestly think out of all the options that you just mentioned, I think so Julian Alvarez is our best bet because Trossard can actually the Trossard extension is actually a very good call. So given that Havertz got injured, he's there for 2 more years and he was on very low wages. I think so he was on 90K, right? Trossard.
Below
Something
that, something like that.
yeah, something in that range. And for someone of his caliber, I think he deserves a lot more. So him getting a hike was like it had to happen sooner or later. And given that we have not extended his contract beyond 2027 is also another wise move. So I don't understand why some fans were triggered by that decision. I think it's a wise call. And also thoughts on Madueke. Like in the training session, he was seen playing on the right and Saka was playing on the left. And in the second half, they both switched places. Madueke went back to the right and Saka to the left. So do you guys think that, from your initial thoughts from uh, I think so did not play preseason, from the first game against, wait, who did he play against last? Man United. Again, from the first game. And what are your thoughts on Madueke on the right, on the left,
So,
sorry.
so on the Harvard situation itself, the first thing that came to my mind was Alexander Isak as a replacement because what I heard from Ornstein, I mean, what I could read from Ornstein is I don't know. It's very unclear. Like if it's a long-term injury or like a 3 month layoff, 2 month layoff. I'm not assuming him to like return like in 2 weeks. That's for sure. 3 months, I'm like it's minimum for me, right? Going into this thing.
It's not 3 months minimum actually. Like no one is saying it's a long term injury. No one is saying that it's an ACL or anything. We are just saying that he got injured. That's all.
So that's
He's
what
not
I'm saying. So
available. How long? What is the injury? And I
yeah,
think that still need to be assessed. So they're expecting it. Arsenal will decide based on the severity of the injury. Is what.
precisely. But
Yeah.
then he doesn't mix that with saying that AFC actively exploring transfer market for signing to strengthen attack and provide cover. My understanding of this is not something that is like a knock or something like that. It's much. There's much more to it.
Yeah.
And then again, Matt Law suggested that we might go for a loan or a cheap option. In my opinion, that kind of makes sense if Havertz is like not a long-term absentee. If he's back in like 2-3 months, I don't have a problem with us not going for a high-profile forward.
The
Then again,
problem,
like but then
go
ag-
on, go on.
sorry, then again, when I see options like Trossard and Martinelli, and of course we have Madueke right now who can offer us a different thing from the left hand side, right? If at all we want to push Saka to the left, that's also not a problem, because suddenly we have someone like Max Dauman, who who is not like a fixed option for me, but then something Arteta can experiment with, right? And he's been fairly good in the preseason. So anyway, forget about Max Dauman. The Trossard extension itself, I don't know. He can play center forward. Gyökeres has to be the main guy, but then again, depending on the injury, even I'm even open to Nicholas Jackson. If that's my opinion, because I don't care about the whole Chelsea thing or whatever.
I
Things
think
is-
what's interesting is, I think I know that this is the year we signed. We got Gabriel Martinelli, and we were even Wenger was saying that he I think the way they saw him was more of a striker
Mhm.
who can cut in and come in the center. So maybe that gives him, because there are a couple of passes even in the Manchester United game where, so a lot of people were complaining about Odegaard passes and final passes and
Mm.
saying that he was not able to do it. But what I saw, in especially in like end of the first half as well, I think he was getting into those, he's doing those passes. But there was one instance where Martinelli just came, cut in. He was in the box, but Odegaard expected him to keep the width, and that's how the pass went. And then
Right.
nobody could. I think I would say both Saka and Martinelli had kind of an off day. They were not there at their best to
True.
exploit Odegaard's, because Odegaard was doing a lot of defensive work as well.
Mm.
So I thought,
And that is something that goes unnoticed every single game. People just want to see the outputs about how many assists how many chances he created, how many goals he scored. But no one is talking about his defensive work, like how you shared this image about the distance covered. But
yeah.
please share your views on it.
And I think what I can see is, if you see the number of kilometers, Zubimendi again was again doing box to box work, and Rice is our has been our main box to box guy from last couple of seasons, and then so we're expecting him to do that. And for Rice, this was, I would say, an off day completely, because he was, a lot of the games we could not just see him at all. I don't know what he was doing. I don't know which position he was playing in, and I think Odegaard compensated for that both on the creative and the defensive side as well, because he was buzzing around. But
True.
that kind of affected our overall creativity. And I think in the second half we felt more secured once we had, like, the defensive unit became solid, and that's when, like, once Rice went, I think 83rd or 84th minute, once Rice was out, we could see a little bit more fluidity in our team. But he was definitely not having the best day.
Mm. No, I'm
True.
sure. I'm sure because I think Norgard was injured again. Okay, before the game. That's the reason why he wasn't involved in the squad. And
He
again, he
was not
was.
sick or something.
Sorry.
He was sick or something. He was not injured.
Yeah, see, that's a pattern. No, today, this
Zubi.
I think Sami Mokbel spoke about Zubimendi having a very serious.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he didn't train the last couple of days. Even in the
Right.
Arsenal images, I couldn't see Zubimendi. Somebody then responded back to me on Twitter saying that, okay, this is Zubimendi, was completely blurred in the background. Somebody, but I now I
I
think of
saw
it.
that. Yeah, but I don't think that's the case.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but that's the
So
reason why that's also connected to Rice. I mean, I didn't see. I've never seen. I've seen bad performances from Rice, but then I haven't seen him like this off. He was like switched off.
Yeah, I think
maybe
there are
And
some
because we
days
were
when
also
you just, sorry,
sorry, go on.
there are
yeah,
some
maybe
days
because
when
also
you have
we
to
were
expect him to where.
Ganesha, you go on.
Sorry. And there's some days where you gonna, like, especially in the big games, he's always been our standout player till now. Even the last
Right.
year Manchester United game at us at Emirates, he was the guy who scored the winner, and he's always been that big game player for us. So we expected a lot from him this game as well. But I think maybe it's
Right.
just rustiness from the for the first game, and as it progresses, because when he was walking out as well, he's walking gingerly. So I'm hoping that he's all fine and he gets back to full fitness by Leeds.
No, what I deduced was like I could see him in training today in that open training, so it definitely wasn't an injury. So it was more to do with that sickness bug,
Yeah.
whatever was going around.
Also, one more thing, most of our players look fatigue, like how you can clearly see in this how much distance was covered. And also, second thing, we were playing just for the win. We were not trying to score many goals. I think in the second half we did not have a single shot on target. It was
Hmm.
just like in the first half, whatever we did, that's all. In the second half, we were just playing the Twitter term haram ball. That's it.
But
So
again in the second half, Odegaard, now I can recollect when I was watching it back. Saka missed a goal, missed a chance. Madueke
yes,
missed one chance from like again. So I think Odegaard again had, I would say it was uh, he had a better day than other people in the team.
Yeah,
But again, since the team didn't score from open play, all the creative problems will be assigned to Martin Odegaard.
yeah. Also,
fair.
one more pointer I have wanted to share. Fury right now feels like a much better option at left back as compared to Miles Lewis Kelly. Because what are your thoughts on Miles Lewis Kelly getting that yellow card? Because this is something we have been seeing consistently over the over games. For any some silly reason, Lewis Kelly is always getting penalized. But however, he's good while he's on the ball and off the ball. But how do you rate? Like, do you rate Calafiori about Lewis Kelly, or would you want Lewis Kelly to be starting at left back?
No, I observed something, all right, during the game, and that has got to do with this Miles yellow card. The thing is, Madueke is not used to playing the game he played, that day. The one thing we were worried about Madueke was if he can defend, and he did that, right? And there was a
Mhm.
overload on the Man United right hand side. For some reason, I felt Lewis Kelly did not have like the best of preseasons, and coming into this game, he had the objective of stopping things. I didn't see him like carry the ball ahead or whatever, the
Right,
usual stuff he does.
right,
This has
right.
got something to do with like taking that yellow card, because I felt after he came on, we were under some pressure from Mbumo on that side. But again, I thought it was a brilliant tactical switch from Arteta to bring on these two fullbacks, Lewis Kelly and Timber. And again, Calafiori, right? Calafiori, I'm just, I don't know. I'm banking on him this season. All right, irrespective of
Yeah,
his fitness, I think he's gonna be that trump card. I think he's gonna be like one of the best attacking defenders in the league.
exactly.
If,
Every
if
single game you can see him like right up on the pitch. He's trying to score.
yeah, yeah,
I think
that's
he's
what we
Yeah,
want.
our as you said, the
Guardiola.
trump card. Yeah, he's the guy who can make things happen, especially in these big games. But I think on the fullbacks, I had this thought when even White was playing, between if a fully fit Timber would be ahead of White, Ben White right now in the team. I think Ben,
true.
it would be Timber, Saliba, Gabriel, Calafiori as first choice for Arteta going forward. If once Timber is fully back, I think he's going to be starting ahead of White.
But what exactly is White lacking? Because everyone is sharing the same take. Like they would pick Twitter. They would pick Timber over White. What exactly is it that White lacks? White is terrific when it
Continuity.
comes to
I think time. He needs time. He needs to spend some more time with the team again. So after this big injury that he had, he was off for a long time in the season. So it will take him time to come back. I think Timber looks more already into it than into what Arteta wants. He knows. I think that's where, and I think there is a leadership quality also which Timber brings to the team. So that's something that we
true,
definitely miss, especially if Rice is having an off day.
No, see, one
true.
one thing I've noticed over the like last 2 3 seasons is like Alexander Lacazette, all right? I'm just going back to that example. You he may not score a lot of goals, but then he rarely has a bad game, right? It's Rice is sorry, Rice. I'm saying White is something similar. He rarely has a bad game. It's just that how you set up tactically. For instance, in this game, or rather, we'll go back to the Bilbao game where Timber started on right back, and then Calafiori started at left back. That was sorry, that was much more balanced because what again White did was the Timber role in that Bilbao game. Rice was staying back, but then whenever he was moving forward, he didn't have that continuity, that rhythm, that that made him like such a formidable fullback alongside Odegaard and Saka. In that right-sided partnership, that was lacking. But then that'll come with time. For now, I agree with Ganesha saying that we should stick with Timber on the right side. Not because he's better than Rice. No, he's not. They're just different type of fullbacks. We can't like really judge like who's better and who's worse. Same on the left side. I don't think the fullback roles have fixed starters as of now. He'll just keep changing it depending on which who we are playing. Like against Leeds, if Rice is fit, if White is fit, he's gonna start. I'm pretty sure of that.
I think something with Arteta is like I think he always, when people are pushing his players against the wall and trying to doubt, I think
Hmm.
because Calafiori again did not have best of first seasons. He was injured for a lot of those times, and he was coming back from injury lot more often than required, and that kind of impacted his gameplay. But now that he's fit, I think you can see the pattern in the preseason games as well. His first choice to start the game is Calafiori, not Luis Kelly, and that's kind of now looks. And I think it makes sense because fullbacks are the people you generally see. That's where substitution also comes into play. I think he will need to. This position is going to get subbed and bring in more energy in the second half, and that's where we see both. I think we have to think as a squad than seeing into like competition between our own players. This has to be
Hmm.
more of a squad kind of thing, and then that's where we can see different qualities coming in different halves.
Right. And thoughts on Gabriel starting at left center back? It's like he never left, never had a break. I think he with Saliba were like the best players on the pitch that day.
I think a lot
Of
of people
course.
call Saliba the Rolls Royce, right? So that's what he's called in terms of his defensive abilities. But I think he goes a level up if he has somebody like
Yeah,
Gabriel beside him. I think
true.
people we undervalue Gabriel's contribution. We have started seeing the results, but he's the guy. He's a rock. If and that kind of gives the confidence to everybody in the back line, including David Raya, who had again an amazing game. So I think he Gabriel is such a pivotal player, and him being on the pitch kind of impacts everybody in the defensive unit.
True.
Big
Raya
presence.
was, yeah, yeah. Raman, go on.
No, I'm saying I also noticed something because I think because of Gabriel Heinze, is that Gabriel, the Gabby,
Big Gabby.
he was playing far too wide on the left. Did you notice that?
Yes, 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 yes. And Calafiri was going up front.
Oh,
True.
Yeah.
yeah.
And Zubimendi was dropping far too much behind. I think, see, again, this is again I felt because why Odegaard was also dropping in behind was because they knew there was something wrong with Rice on the day, so they were just trying to cover it up,
And
help
if you
him.
go back to the average position that we have played, and you can see if you see the narrowness of our midfield. This is
Hmm.
and we can go again and see it Manchester United's position as well, and that's going to be very similar. They are also on such it was a battle of the midfield, and we didn't expect Casemiro and Bruno's midfield to be so solid, but they needed to be creative and they were creative, and because of the energy that Cunha and Mbomo were bringing in there, they could ping in those passes, and then they became that would became an outlet for them to attack. And to compensate for that, Gabriel somebody had to occupy that space, that Calafiori was leaving when he was going for the attack, and I think Gabriel did that. He's in the Bilbao game. We saw Rice stepping back as a center point in the defense, and a lot of times there was interchanging between Zubi and Rice. But
Right.
in this instance, I saw Zubimendi being on the back a lot more. He was also not fully. You could say he was not at 100%, and that kind of reflected. Both Rice and Zubi were not 100%, and when the pivot is not working in the body, so you're going to have these issues. What we had in transition, especially when we are trying to beat them on transitions.
Spot on, spot on. The the thing that you mentioned, right? Like only Zubimendi was coming behind and not Rice. I didn't think Rice had the energy on the day to do his usual running and everything, because what I saw from him at Bilbao, against Bilbao, in the 80th minute or something, he misplaced a corner and he's running the length of the pitch, and he got the ball and he's like recycling it. So I didn't have any doubts heading into this game that Rice has fitness concerns. I expected him to be at his horse best, or whatever you want to call it. So, so yeah, I mean, even on Zubimendi, right? I was talking to one of my friends, and she told me that it's she doesn't know like who Zubimendi is, right? Like as such, like she's not going to sit and watch Sociedad games or whatever. But then what she told me was that the moment I saw him play against Bilbao, I felt like an element of trust.
Hmm.
I could just trust him to hold our midfield. I mean, that was an interesting point that I came across.
Yeah. Few points like Raya was terrific, but what are your views on how Man United played? Because Cunha was terrific, Mbumo was terrific, even Casemiro and Dillit for some reason, even they were pretty good. So, what are your thoughts on that?
I think new signings always bring you, and I think they had a very off season last time, and you could
Mhm.
sense that everybody there was optimism in the air. They wanted to do better than last year, and these new signings always kind of lift you up, and
True.
especially for a team like when you're having these home games, it kind of impacts it. And both Cunha and Embomo, I think what they missed was a proper number nine. If they had a proper number nine, they would have scored goals in the first half. I think,
Actually, he did bring on like Sesko did play, but I don't think he had much of an impact. There was a chance where but he couldn't control the ball that well.
yeah,
But however, there was one instance where Saliba defended the ball. I think so. It was Cunha up front. Yeah, it was Cunha up front, and there was a penalty call. What do you guys think on that? Do you think it was a penalty or not?
No, 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 no. He ran into him. He
Fair.
he planted his foot there. I mean, it wasn't a
Yeah.
penalty. Again, I
But
would admit when I saw the replays, I was scared. I
yeah,
won't. I was scared that the way they show the replays, right?
please slow it down.
right.
No, no. Even for some reason, I felt the angle was weird. And now I see these replays on Twitter. It's just clear as day. It's not a penalty. But on Twitter, I remember like I was just like holding my head and I'm like, okay, what
Yeah.
are they going to do? That 20
But,
seconds passed and the referee didn't do anything. I was very happy
yeah.
about it.
But the thing is, when this is just the first game, but what if it's like a decider game or something, and like let's say they give the penalty, and like there's nothing that can be done about it, because
Yeah.
during games like these is when we actually should be scoring more goals, but it was very risky. And United, like how the coach said, they were actually the better team, and Amorim, right? How do you pronounce his name?
Amorim, yeah.
Amorim. Like he meant they were actually the better team, and they could have actually won it. We just defensively we were just better,
had
but
this game happened in January, February, or
yeah,
say April in the season end, and we would have won the same way and got those 3 points, I don't think we would have seen people complaining, because that time 3 points become important. It's good that so
true.
last year we got 1 point from this fixture. Now we got three. I think we should just be. There are some games where we will have to fight, and this is what champion teams do. They find a way to win. We found a way to win, and I think there's no team in this league defensively as solid as Arsenal to hold on to a lead.
Not just the league, the entire Europe actually. Can't find a single team as good as. Can't find a single team as good as Arsenal. So
But, but this,
moving on
but
to
this,
another topic.
sorry. Yeah, go on.
Yeah, we have to actually wrap it up as well. So
Yeah,
I'll
go on.
just cover up as many topics as we can. Thoughts on Jokeris and why is he being targeted right now? Like because he had very little contribution in the whole game, and that is mainly because lack of creative output from the back. That is Odegaard, Saka. No one was creating anything for him to actually score. But still, people have concerns over Gyökeres. So, what are your thoughts on that?
I'll start this. So this Arsenal vision guy, right? Clive.
Hmm.
Yeah,
What Clive said brilliantly was, like, our job was to get in and get out. Let the world do the talking about if we played well or we didn't play well, whatever. Then I also encountered this Liverpool streamer. He was actually criticizing one play where Gyökeres was wide on the right and he crossed the ball to Martinelli.
Martinelli, and it went in no man's land. Got it.
Yeah, whatever. That
Yeah,
happens.
yeah.
He's like, that is a tactical mistake. That is a system error. Gyökeres shouldn't be there. What I noticed from that is they are putting that guy under the microscope. Not just that guy. They are putting whatever Arsenal do in the attacking phase. If we miss a chance, if we miss a pass, if we miss a cross, we are just under the microscope. I don't have a problem with it. Let them talk.
Hmm.
But again, criticizing Gyökeres after like one game where I personally felt he was showing good energy. See, there is a big difference about, again, I'm going back to Rice.
Hmm.
There were some instances in the season before uh, where some players went missing. Like you can't see them. But Rice, even though he was not playing well, he was not missing. He was there. You could see him. You could see that he's trying. Same with Gyökeres, he was trying. Things will
True.
fall in place. Things will fall in place. Arsenal were also. I think James Bench wrote an article saying that we were like 55% faster or something like that. Did you guys see it? He
Who
says
Yes.
that
was
because
faster?
we were in our attacks, our attacking speed.
Transition.
Yeah, transition. Right. Sorry,
Oh,
it was 55% faster, and that showed me that we are trying to move away from a system, or maybe trying to implement a new system alongside the old system, and trying new things. It didn't work, but I'm glad we took the 3 points, got out of there. Killer.
yeah. So I think we have already covered the cross-site contract extension bit, which actually makes sense. So let's move on from the Man United game.
Hmm.
Uh, Thoughts on the Zinchenko interview, by the way? Like, what about him? Getting back into this team, and how do we go about that now?
I think each and every what I do when I listen to such interviews or any kind of when player talking is I put myself in those shoes in my workspace and see if I was the preferred option and not being the preferred option going forward, would that impact me? And I would say here in this case, 100% it will impact me, and that's what he's saying. He's not anywhere saying that he's unhappy because of it. He's unhappy because he's not able to live up to his own expectations, and
True.
I think it is normal. And I would not be like I would want my players to want to play, and that's the exact attitude I want. And this is exactly what he and Gabby J, I think they brought this culture to this new team that everybody wants to contribute on the pitch, and we're going to expect instances where somebody is just better than you. In this instance, Miles Lewis Kelly was better than him last season, and he pushed this guy out. And then Calafiori also, even though he's a centre back by trade, he's still doing better in that, giving us both the defensive cover and attacking threat than Zinchenko. So I think I think he's fair on his side, and I think his thoughts are also very normal. I think it's just has Arsenal has to decide now whether they look at this guy 28-year guy on the bench, or and he comes as a sub, or does
Yeah,
he go somewhere else and play regularly? If he wants to play regularly, I don't think he should wait for me. He should not wait. If he wants to play, he should play somewhere.
very true. Very true. Actually, since we have already signed Mosquera, and I think Kivior is going to move as well. So if Kivior moves, we definitely have to sign someone else, or we have to keep Zinchenko, because then we will fall short if we even face one more injury. Uh, but yeah, even I think that if he gets the opportunity, he should be moving. But yeah, let's see what happens. And
My
thoughts, quick,
my
yeah,
key
go
issue
on.
was, sorry. My key issue was, The Man United game showed me one thing, that we can only name 9 people on the bench,
Yeah.
right? And I don't think right now, even if Zinchenko wanted to stay, there is no space for him on the bench, and the same goes for Kivior. We don't have space on the bench.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So
Even
you rate
even if,
Mosquera.
even
So you rate Mosquera above Kivior right now
yeah, right now that looks like the order from Mateta.
because Kivior did pretty well in the Champions League last season. This
Fair.
season, not as much. Yeah. So Mosquera
I'm
is
not
someone who has
denying
just
his
joined.
quality. I'm not denying his quality, but then we can place nine players on the bench. We can only play five, unless
Right.
there's a concussion issue on the pitch.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So you think about it, like, do we need to? Last year we had the same 9 players, not the same 9 players. We had 9 players on the bench, but then you look at the drastic difference in the quality, right? Like, we used to have that Ismail Kabia and
Um,
someone else, like, Kakuri, uh, Maldini Kakuri. There was
Maldini.
another
Yeah.
Albanian
Yeah.
or something. He was there. The point is, we never used them. Now we have players who we can use, and there many games. Some of them will always miss out. Now I'm just talking from the 9. Forget about those who didn't make the bench. The last match, Norgard didn't make the bench. I don't know if he was injured or whatever, but then he didn't make it. Kivior didn't make it. Zinchenko didn't make it. So we have quality. We have quality
Mhm.
across the board. Then again, you have to think about it from an attacking perspective. You have to also, in games, you have to include Dauman. Fans will start calling for it. So I don't know. Right now, I think I'm going along with what Pep Guardiola has been saying out in public, that he wants to trim his squad. But again, you can only trim the squad if you have the absolute quality to do it. And that's precisely why Berta has been pushing the boat, that I want to sell one player so that I can buy a new left winger. And that's what is happening right now.
True. Now with the Havertz injury, it's unlikely that even Reece Nelson could be sold. I mean,
He should be sold.
I think he's going. I think
He
he
should.
would push for regular game time, and he needs now. I think this is the season for him to break out somewhere here or anywhere apart from Emirates.
Yeah.
I think he he
same
he
thoughts.
he needs that.
Same thoughts with Fabio Vieira as well.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Fabio Vieira not being on the bench is an indication that he's going.
Got it. Yes. Uh, Guys, moving on to a whole new topic, that's a women's team. Do you guys feel like the women's team right now has more ambition than our men's team, given that
No,
they have already won the Champions League and also the kind of signings that we have made. We signed Pro Kelly, we got Taylor Hines, who was a pool vice captain, and Olivia Smith, which is a world record transfer fee, on a world record transfer fee, 1 million uh, pounds or euros. I'm
Yeah,
not sure of
one
that,
million
but
pounds. Yeah.
yeah. So that is actually a topic for another day. Like, the world record transfer fee in women's football is 1 million euros and or pounds. And when it comes to men's football, it's going north of like 100 million and all that. But that's for another day. But right now, what do you guys think on that? Like, do you feel like our women's team is showing more ambition than our men's team or what?
I think we are still playing catch up there. If you see how much Chelsea has spent in their transfer, I think we are still playing catch up to what, because we didn't do it. We did it this year because we needed to do it. And now that we have this core group of players, we want to build a team around them. We are doing it now, but we are playing catch up to Chelsea in terms of players, squad depth. Again, I don't know. For me, still, I saw Michelle Agamang play
Yeah,
for
yeah,
England, and I think they've again sent her on loan this season.
Yeah.
I'm surprised actually, because she was a standout player for me in the English squad as well, and she's a person who can make impact from the bench. So I think we are trying. I see that there's a similar pattern. I would not compare the our transfer strategy of the women team to the men's side, because it depends upon the kind of squad we have. We have good players. We have a very good squad, but I think it's time for us to have that domestic title. I think that's something that's missing, because this is a very good squad. Uh,
sure.
I think what's missing is we have to dominate it now.
Hmm. Look, what I would
True.
say from when you're comparing it, I don't think we should compare the quality, but then we should compare the transfer ambitions.
Yeah.
Like what they are
Yeah.
doing right now is like, imagine, like, you have that capacity to Agmeng. What? How do you pronounce the name?
Yeah, it's Agemang. Agemang.
Agebang. Okay, let's call it that way. What's her first name? Yeah,
Michelle.
Michelle. So I'm gonna call her Michelle. So think about it, like, they have this good striker in Michelle, and they're trying to like just send her on loan so that they can give her like proper exposure to the regular first team.
Yes.
They want her to have experience and then come back. She has a bright future at Arsenal. That's not the thing. But again, what the kind of signings we are doing right now, it's just showing ambition. It's just showing ambition. We've just signed. We technically, as a team, we have two players who are in the Ballon d'Or top three,
Russo.
Russo and Caldante,
Yeah.
right? And she's gonna win it, like
Russo.
Mariona. No, Mariona.
I think Russo should win.
No, Russo has that ammunition that, okay, she scored here, she scored there, she
Champions
won
League
the
final.
Champions League, she won the Euros. But from a performance perspective, Mariona.
I think
Marion is also a lucky charm actually. Like she won with Barca and Navas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it will be interesting to see how we perform in the Champions League again this year when we defend it, because that's also a bigger challenge for us. Can
Hmm.
we go back to back? Because last time we won, I think we still next year we struggled. We just need to have that like a dominance there, and that's what I'm looking at. We are a very good squad, and now I want some like a period of dominance, that kind of like a Madrid dominance or a Barca dominance, and
Hmm.
that's what we need to show, not just and on the English stage but on the European stage.
So
Right.
who won the PFA the men's player, young men's player?
I have to take a look actually. Not sure.
I don't know.
I could see this with this Olivia Smith signing. I could see ambition. This is what big clubs should do. You sign the best of the best.
Morgan Rogers,
Morgan Rogers. See,
Oh,
which makes complete sense. You know,
precisely.
actually.
I think even I think one player I'm a big fan of, and I know she's not paid that much for Arsenal still, but I think
Hmm.
Chloe Kelly. Oh, she is watching her live is fun, and I think
Yeah.
she's going to be a live wire, and she's going to add that value to our squad. So I'm just so even though she's not new, but she's technically new because she's not played much with us. So, but I'm looking forward to her presence on the pitch.
Chloe Kelly.
Yes.
Chloe Kelly has been good. Has been like, she was with us before. Then she was like a key player
Yeah.
for Man City.
Yeah.
City. No, no,
Yeah.
no. She lost her passion to play football at City or something like that. And now
Yeah.
No,
she's
no.
found a joy
Brief,
back at us.
a brief moment she thought that, I should quit the game altogether. Then
Yeah.
she
Yeah.
joined Arsenal.
Then she came to us.
I was seeing her live in the Euros, and I'm telling you, was one person who just like we could see on the pitch was ready to make the difference. So
Yeah.
I'm looking
Right.
forward to that kind of energy on with from on in Emirates as well. Now that we are going to play at Emirates,
Yeah.
Actually, that's the kind of energy our men's team needs on the left wing, which is lacking.
I don't know
Yeah.
what has happened to Martinelli. I absolutely don't know what is happening. Is it mental side? I don't know.
Yeah.
Is it
It's just
positionally?
confidence.
Even
It's just
in
confidence.
the United game, he had a couple of chances which we like. He should have buried it, but then I don't know where he just shoot
Maybe
it.
I think what I observed in the Bilbao game, and that's something that Arteta maybe has to think going forward, is when there were brief instances. We were very fluid in the Bilbao game where both Rice, Zubimendi were changing their positions, interchanging their positions. The same thing was happening between Gyökeres and Martinelli, where Gyökeres was going towards the
Yeah.
left and trying to bring Martinelli into the game, and that allowed Martinelli to cut inside and do maybe just change the angle for him.
Hmm.
Maybe he plays comes on subs for Saka and plays on the right or center. Maybe that's something that he has to think. Of course we fell in love with the Martinelli who was quick in transitions, and now that the game style that Arteta is pursuing on transitions, I think this is going to suit Martinelli the most. And I could see that in the Bilbao game where he set up Saka for the second goal. Brilliant. Odegaard passed to Martinelli, Martinelli passes to Saka, and that's how the goal came in. Second one. I think I want to see more of that. Maybe centrally something where he can contribute better.
Yeah, my left field thoughts on Martinelli and his performance or whatever is that I think if we don't sign a left winger and the transfer window ends, it's gonna ease the pressure on him. And
No.
it for him it's about like playing the game and adjusting again. Because see, to be fair to him, the left hand side has like so many changes over the like last like since the 22-23 season. Last two seasons the left side has been constantly chopped and changed, be it the left sided midfielder, be it the left back. No, so there is, I mean, if you compare it to the right side, so consistent. It was either it was going to be Rice or Timber. Here there are like so many different players playing. No, it's not good. Obviously it's going to affect the left winger. Let us give like a consistent run, a consistent system. See, 23-24 Martinelli was fine. Why? Because
Jaka.
sorry,
Jaka
no,
was
not
there.
Jaka, not Jaka. There was a proper system in place. I think most games in the second half of the season, Jorginho was playing the left midfield. It was more like a double pivot like we have right now. So I don't know. With time, I think things will be fine with Martinelli. It's just that you can see, right, the kind of pressure people are putting on him. Every
Right.
day there is like sell Martinelli, sell Martinelli. So think about it.
Yeah. So guys,
By the way, there's
okay,
a breaking news from Onstein, which
Go
says
on.
Arsenal make a move for Ebriche Eze,
Are you
27 years.
kidding me,
No,
easy
2 minutes
right
back.
now. Okay.
bro?
Two
Are you
minutes
okay? Okay then, bro. We are a good
Oh,
omen.
Yep. So we are back for back for
We're
Eze.
back. Now I don't think Spurs are gonna beat us and all. Brilliant.
okay. I don't think we ever left actually. I'll just put this up.
Yeah, I think there was a price. They were still worried about the pricing of him, but I think now that Havertz is out, I think it's kind of like they know that Havertz is going to come back, and so they can still go for a versatile kind of a forward who can play multiple
Hmm.
positions. And knowing Arteta, he loves that ability for multitasking. Like he loves his players to play multiple positions.
No, no, no. See,
While
I'm
this is an interesting
yeah.
signing, sorry,
Hmm.
was I interrupting? I lost
No,
the
no, no,
voice.
no. Sorry. I interrupted. Sorry.
Wow, while it's an interesting signing, now what do you think about our starting eleven? Let's say we do end up signing him. What does our starting eleven look like? Like who gets on the bench?
So
I think it also impacts now that you have five subs. A sub also is also a key player. If he comes at like 50-55 minute mark, you still he can like there are players who need to come at that mark and make a change in the game and impact the game. And so we should not look at it as a like a just a starting lineup. We should look at it as the starting lineup and the people who are going to come in as impact players. Eze can do both, and that's the flexibility he gives. He can play, he can come and replace Odegaard. That frees up Nwaneri to come and play either side because Nwaneri can play either side on the wings and this
Hmm.
position. So I think you have now people who can interchange between the forward positions, which similar to what we are doing in the midfield, where Rice and Zubimendi are interchanging their positions. We're going to see something similar kind of fluidity, when that's going to surprise a lot of teams. That's why people have been screaming for another winger, so that another kind of winger to Martinelli, so that we have this fluidity in the front attacking piece, and not everything is dependent on just Gyökeres going to be in the box and scoring the goal. That's something that the opponents are already expecting us to do.
yeah.
I think if we do end up signing easy, people on Twitter are going to have a field day because we have been uh,
I think I'm
there
going
have
to have a
been a
lot of
couple of
fun with my Tottenham fans. One thing for sure.
Oh,
A
I'm
lot of,
yeah.
just
lot of
gonna
my friends are Tottenham fans, and uh, because initially I used to always believe who's going to be a fan for Tottenham, but I just randomly end up being. I have a lot of
Yeah.
colleagues who are Tottenham fans.
So we basically have better pull than Real Madrid. We've got better pull than Liverpool, and which other team? Because Zubimendi was linked to Madrid and he ended up with us. And which other player was there? Was
I
linked to
think if we
somewhere
sign,
else.
if we end up signing Eze and then we sign go on the wing, we just signed Isak, and that then we can say yeah, Liverpool. We can
Isak is
one
a
up on
player
Liverpool.
that Isak is a player that I really low-key feel that Arsenal will go after because we have seared up a lot of funds and the whole saga it's been very quiet with Isak. Like he's just been linked to Liverpool and nothing other than that. I just feel like towards the end there might be some kind of an ego thing going on and Newcastle may not want to sell to Liverpool. However, Arsenal might bid like let's say a little more than what Liverpool is bidding, and Newcastle might actually end up selling him to Arsenal. But the thing would be that where will Isak play? Because unlikely that he would want to play on the wings. Maybe as a second strike or something, but we have to change our formation. However, guys, we have to conclude this thing. Concluding statements. What are your thoughts on this transfer window? Now, let's say we do sign easy. Uh, should we be signing more players and which ins and which outs? Like how many ins and how
No,
many outs? What are your thoughts on that? And I think after that we should like just wrap this up. Episode
fine.
one.
Eze changes everything, in my opinion. Tactically, how we are seen as an attacking team, he changes a lot of things. He's not a left winger, but then he moves like a left winger. Is
Right.
what I'll say. But again, in terms of outgoings, I don't know. Our club is weird when it comes to outgoings. They don't like. They're not very. They're not ruthless about it. I hope they get ruthless in the next 10 days or whatever. But let's see. I mean, I'm not expecting. Uh, I'm not expecting Vieira, Lokonga, Nelson, Zinchenko, and some and few others to stay here. But that's it.
Yeah.
That's it. I don't.
Loan.
I don't think
If
Trossard is moving either. No, but again, I'm also on the sides. I'm thinking maybe this Eze thing allows us to sell Trossard. But let's see.
after after us extending him, like giving him a new
No,
contract.
that extension is very weird because it's not like something you sit and discuss with the thing. It's more of an obligation that you probably had in his contract. Something on the lines of, if some clubs came and we couldn't agree a value, but you wanted to go. I've read this somewhere,
Or
like, they couldn't agree to a value. I think Ben Jacobs or somebody said it. They couldn't agree to a value, like in terms of the fees or whatever. So they are kind of obliged to give him a pay rise. And that's what he did. They didn't extend like his contract duration. They just gave him a pay rise.
I think the main purpose of the contract talks with Trossard looked like on the pay, where we have now put him in the top.
hmm. So Ganesha, your thoughts are similar regarding the ins and outs. Like any other views regarding that? Was it
Unmute.
audible?
Yeah. Am I audible now? Maybe
Yeah,
so.
yeah, you're
Yeah, yeah,
audible.
you're audible now. Yeah.
I would still want a left winger, uh, and i- and this is in addition to Eze. I just want somebody like a level raiser. For me, the preference would be between three. I have three options: Alvarez, Morgan Rogers, Rodrigo. Any of
For
these
me,
would change.
For me, Rodrigo is out. I mean, I would Morgan Rogers and Alvarez are like pretty good options, and both are Premier League proven. And I don't think Villa are going to sell uh,
80 million is the price tag on him.
80 million.
Yeah, 80 million
No, no,
above. He said
he's
they said
extended his
they're
deal.
going to entertain offers above 80 million.
No, I
Okay,
think I think he's already extended his deal. No,
Nothing, but I think if a big team comes for him, he would definitely go.
okay, interesting. Then I think for him that price tag is pretty valid to be very honest, and it's fair. And but however, even Alvarez is a very good option. I don't think it's going to cost that much. Alvarez is literally a like to like replacement to Jesus. However, one more thing, in a few months, Jesus could be back, so that would
Yeah,
cause a clash, like who stays and who leaves.
yeah,
Yeah, I think probably that's a question for us in the future.
yeah.
How about we wrap it up for this episode?
Yep.
Yeah.
It's amazing
Okay,
talking to
guys.
you guys and had fun talking Arsenal.
Yeah, guys, this was fun. Thank you for joining in. Hopefully, like next week we'll have another episode of this podcast, and I hope we'll have more viewers joining in. Right now, this was a trial session. So yeah,
We'll do
it
that.
was lovely having you guys. Bye.
Ciao.